guys, welcome back to our channel. We received a question from Stephen recently who asked Peter to demonstrate putting the camera into full auto and wanted to hear his opinions on what he thought about what camera companies bake into the auto settings. So Peter's going to go through a shoot with Rara. We've got a lighting setup from a recent shoot we just did for Inspire. And then he's going to put the camera into his settings and go through the differences and show you why he would never shoot in auto.
Okay, so I haven't shot like this since I picked up an iPhone. I've set my camera, I'm on a Leica SLS2. I have got a auto-focusing zoom lens on here. I have set my camera is now set into auto white balance, auto ISO, and P for professional, because I just want to show you why I would never use any of these settings where I've left the camera in charge of my exposure and my color, and I have got no control over any of this. I'm now just driving like AI. So the more I shoot in this mode, the more I'm giving into some of the camera manufacturers who just want you to buy their AI in their cameras and not be your own artist. So what I'm saying is why I do this. I want to have full control over the light, even with sunlight and it's going up and down, I still want to have control over what I'm going to change. And yes, I could go aperture priority or shutter priority, but I still don't have control. It's going to change without asking me, hey, Peter, can I change this? And maybe the sun drops a little bit and I go, oh, I like that better. But the camera's not going to give me that choice. It's just going to change. That's the first reason. The second reason I find once you've got into this, like driving an automatic car, you tend not to drive the car anymore. The car drives you. But once you're there and you're on the buttons, you are now driving the camera. And it gives you more of a feeling that you're creating and puts your mindset into a better mindset. Whereas if you just got you're just in a happy snap mode. Whereas if you're physically changing things to your taste, you're now in a creative headspace. And it might slow you down a bit, which will make you take even better pictures. But that's just my point of view. Anyway, I've got this fully set up. We were doing a shoot earlier for Inspire on this, so I'm just let the same lighting on here. And the very first thing you'll notice that if on the back of my camera, if I just zoom out a little bit, we're in auto everything at the moment, and I'm overexposing on her cheek, on her forehead, on her hair. So yes, I could go into the camera and say, I want to now change it to be a third of a stop below exposure, but now isn't that a manual setting? I've now made a change. But I'm just going to leave, oh no, I actually am going to change this. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change, so I'm going to go to exposure compensation. So I'm one stop under, lock that in, one stop minus. So with me doing nothing at the moment, it's got me on an auto ISO at 200 ISO at f3.8 at 160th of a second. And I recompose, all of a sudden I'm going, oh no, did that change? There we go, 160 ISO now. So it's back up to 200. So just me turning, I'm up to 250. The light hasn't changed, but I've just changed a third of a stop. Well, the camera just changed me a third of a stop. And anybody who's gone into what I call the Lightroom grid and go, I need to turn that one up a little bit, this one down a little bit, and this one up a little bit, and this one down a little bit, it hasn't actually saved you any time now, but it's taken away the creativity of being a photographer. You now have to do this in front of a computer screen, which is now feeling like retouching. Anyway, I'm going to keep going with this because I want to take some shots just so you can actually see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit and I'm going to autofocus. And I'm now down to 100 ISO. We've dropped from 200 ISO to 100 ISO just by autofocusing. Now if I come off the camera and start shooting this not on a tripod and using my eyes, so perfect example, I come back to here, I'm on 100 ISO at f3.2. If I zoom in, I'm on 250 ISO at f4. The light did not change. And I'll do them a two shots so you can actually see this come up. That's fully zoomed out, and then this is fully zoomed in, and I have at least a stop has changed in my exposure. if I just came around here a little bit because I wanted to do something a little bit different and came in here, I'm now at f4 at 100 ISO to 150th of a second. It's changed my settings a lot. Say I want to get a bit creative and I want to shoot in between these lights. Come in and get my shot. Cool. It's just changed my settings again. So no matter everywhere I go, I'm getting a different exposure setting on the picture. So that felt underexposed when I took that. I'm just going to take another wide one out. And I think that's enough. But what I'm going to do, before I go to the computer and talk about on the computer, I'm now going to come back into my world. So we're going to come in and we're going to first set this to fully manual. White balance. And I always run my white balance at daylight, and then I can use a color card or I can do a color correction on a picture and then sync it to all the pictures. Right, so I've taken all my autos off now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my exposure my way now. And again, this is one of the reasons I love cameras that have information in the viewfinder or on the screen before you take a picture. To me, this makes my job really, really easy. So at the moment, you can see the highlight alerts coming on. And what I might do is just defocus so we just don't have that interrupting what we're looking at. So now if I just decide what I want to shoot at, so 200th of a second, I'm happy to go up or down from there, but maybe let's come to 160th because I'm 100% happy with RAW sitting and me shooting at that. And I'm going to, you'll see as I come down, you'll see the overexposure warning just going off. So what I can do is I can say, well, I'd rather go out from f4. So let's go to f4.5. See, the warnings are there, the warnings are gone. Now I've got the picture pushed as far as I can to the right without clipping, which means I get the most detail in my shadows. And I want to be that accurate. It allows me more creativity to play with the photo afterwards because I have the most detail captured. So I'm happy just sitting on that. And if I come in now and I can see, once I come into the viewfinder, I can see the nose is just going off. So I'm finding f5 is really where I want to be, at 160th. I can decide on my crop and where I want it to shoot. I can manual focus till I got it there. Beautiful, beautiful. That's really pretty. Now, if I come out to the full shot and take a picture and zoom right in and take a picture and come 3/4 and take a picture, and if I come off the tripod and we'll come across RAW, it won't be as pretty light, but you'll see, and I'll zoom right in on this as well. The sun's just come out now. If I look in at RAW now in the viewfinder, she's just on the edge of going off right now. So just by taking from 160 to 200 of a second, that's fixed that sun popping up. But I saw that in the viewfinder before I even went to take a picture. So now if we just have a look at our files, I've just tried to find the brightest part on RAW's face, because sometimes the screens just look like it's overcooked, but it's not. I can zoom in, you'll see all the texture there, and if I go into the brightest spot, if you look at up in this area, you'll see there's nothing hitting 100. 193 in the red channel is the highest hit. So I've got heaps of room on this. And if I go through my pictures, this was before, just as the sun was coming out, I've pushed up to 94. We'll come into that one. I'm sitting now on there. If I come back to it, it's 95. Come into here, it's 93. You can see my highlights all sitting 93 in the same spot. So now we'll come on to everything set into auto. You'll see on the foreheads, I'm sitting down 79, 80 on the first picture. If I go to the next picture, I'm sitting at 91. So that's 10% increase. Next picture, I'm sitting at 52. You'll see the difference. I'm 63. Up in the forehead, 64. 63. You'll see all of these are so far under. We get up to my pictures, even though these look bright, look at my histogram, it's pulled off before white, and I've got plenty of room in my blacks. If I go back to one of the other pictures, look, I'm losing my detail in my blacks.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, I will throw up some other videos kind of similar around my head now.